The Save America Act is part of President Trump's efforts to rewrite the American electoral process. It would add significant restrictions to voting across the board. President Trump said he would not sign any bills unless the act was passed. The Save America Act was first introduced in January, and it ran into Democratic opposition in the Senate. And the president has been leaning on Republicans in the Senate to change the rules in order to pass this law. So if you look at what's in this bill, there's a few provisions that President Trump has long been fixated on. Now, the first is right here on the second page. Anyone who wants to register to vote would have to present a form of identification that proves your citizenship. It could be a valid US passport, or it could be a birth certificate. But about 21 million Americans don't have ready access to a documentary proof of citizenship. So this would be a pretty significant registration requirement. The president's claims that the United States elections are rigged against him center on this idea that there are thousands or millions of undocumented immigrants or non-citizens who are voting in American elections. This has never been proven to be true, including investigations by the president's own Department of Homeland Security. Another key component in this bill is a federal photo ID requirement presented at the time of voting. But there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud. And those who argue that a strict voter ID isn't necessary say that putting these requirements on poorer communities could potentially disenfranchise them. They might not have access to driver's licenses. But at the same time, the vast majority of Americans support some form of voter ID requirements. Another provision would add pretty significant restrictions to mail voting. There has, again, never been any evidence of widespread voter fraud through the mail. But President Trump has long railed against vote by mail, ever since the 2020 election, when Democrats embraced voting by mail en masse. That in part led to his defeat. By returning the fight to the Save America Act, the president's trying to do two things. He has said in the past that changing these voting laws are critical to helping Republicans maintain control of Congress. He's also continuing to sow doubt and distrust, as he has in the past when electoral fortunes don't go his way.